I am one of two in-person interviewers. Two. Me and Mahir. And until 2 weeks ago, it was just me, the entire split. And I just think it's wild to choose not to have an interview with press that are here. I live about an hour away, so I drive here. I'm not getting paid. Neither is Mahir. We got people out here supporting and
Wait,
trying.
so why did FlyQuest? So normally, teams decline people if they just fucking hate the people, Like, that's how it works. Like, if a team has a problem with a person, but I don't think anyone has a problem with this guy, so I wonder why FlyQuest chose not to do it.
To create any kind of content for the space. And it's just crazy to me that both FlyQuest and LTA North team, who usually is great about supporting fans and supporting press and things, how they would refuse to give a single interview. And then Vivo Cade Stars, which is from the South, they lose today, but they're not eliminated.
Declines, this guy's lying? Or what?
And they choose not to give multiple people interviews. From Vivo Cade Stars' perspective, this is the if they lose today and then lose the next time they play, this is the one of two interviews that they get with Western media. And I understand, they could be tired, you lost, it was an 0-3. There are multiple reasons, but it's like from a macro perspective, that to me is such a lost opportunity. And I've had so many people be like, hey, I'm really excited to see your interviews with the LTA South players. I did a Titan interview, and the mic that I had on me went out halfway through. So I was just able to make a clip, and I put it on Twitter. But right now, we are at a place with League, LTA specifically, where it feels like it needs to be run with passion. The people in this space are really just doing things because they want the scene to go well. I'm making content here because I know that people want to see content from here. And I like it, and I want it to succeed. It's all
Teams have 3 mandatory interviews to do, and they did their 3?
all hands on deck.
Who do they do the interviews with?
And it just...
Because he's saying there's only 2 interviewers that are like the English-speaking ones that are there all the time. Maybe this guy's... I don't know. Empire, it works with FlyQuest, so maybe... I trust him. So maybe this guy's just misinformed.
Crazy to me that the teams would be the hands that aren't on deck. I don't know if any of that made sense. I'm just kind of going off. I feel frustrated because I feel like I wasted a day. And you don't find out about any of this stuff until after the Nexus drops. It just sucks to know that, bro...
that sounds like a really dumb way to do it from Riot's side. Like, what, you just have, a bunch of interviewers show up, and then you say... each team has 3 random interviews to do, so we're just gonna play it by ear, whoever they choose. I don't know, it just seems like you should just be like, these are the 3 people you have interviews with. And then you have none of this problem.
Everyone on team side is getting paid. Everyone, the teams, the players, the management,
everyone. Esports is a real sport and need press? Yeah, I think you probably need press. I think if you don't do any type of, interviews and stuff with players, it's probably really bad for a scene. I don't think it would make much sense to not do any interviews as players. People normally want to have insight into the scene.
Everyone is getting paid. And, the people who are getting fucked over are the people who are doing this purely out of passion. That doesn't sit right with me. And, it might be Riot's system, and it might be the teams. I'm no journalist, I just feel like I need to voice how I'm feeling. But long live LTA. Long live FlyQuest.
No, fuck LTA, bro. Bring back LCS, that's it.
But dang, guys. I'm the only person in North America who is here in person asking for an interview, and you're saying no.
Yeah, playing computer games is a real sport like the NBA. You can call it whatever you want. It's a competitive thing where, there's a scene where you want to get to know the players. I don't know. People like you just seem very, what's the nicest way? But just maybe just naive, I guess. It's a nice way to put it.
That's crazy. All right, well,
you're so stuck on the idea of it's not a real sport. Like LeBron James would beat the shit out of Blabber in a fist fight. You have this type of mindset as opposed to having it be okay, this is a competition. Normally, to grow a competition, you want to have insight into the players because people like the player, seeing people do something competitive and then hearing what their thoughts were in those moments because they don't know what they're thinking.
It for me. I'm doing interviews tomorrow, so I will be here. You'll still have content, hopefully, if they give me any interviews. but I will be putting out content. I just
want
wanted to
I don't care about the term sport. Like I was never somebody who's like, no, it's a real sport. Like I'm somebody who grew up playing like real sports. You know, I played baseball and tennis and basketball growing up. So like I understand the differences there. Whatever it is, it's like a competitive thing where people are watching you compete, and it's interesting to hear what the thoughts are of players while they're competing.
make this to be honest and just to show like, yo, things aren't amazing here, and I think there are ways that we can improve it, but to do so, we just like need to be on the same team.
It's top down. Honestly, all this stuff just starts with Riot. If Riot wants the scene to survive, then they need to do more, straight up. They've got to organize more. They need to obviously create a better environment. They have to try harder with the formats, or maybe even try less hard with the formats. I don't know which one is better at this point, but they need to change the formats. They need to do something to make people care. But right now, the general feeling of LTA is it feels like from a fan perspective that Riot doesn't care. Even if that's not true, even if Riot does care a lot and they just are making a bunch of bad decisions consistently, what matters is that the fans feel like Riot does not give a fuck. And because the fans feel like that, they're tuning out. Like, why would I care about this if you don't? The formats feel extremely convoluted. It feels like the matches are just kind of like anti-hype. Like FlyQuest versus Vivo Keyed. You know, you can say what you want about anything, but if your winner bracket finals is between an LTA North 1 seed and an LTA South 1 seed, generally it will not be close, right? Especially if there's not interaction between LTA South and LTA North during the split. So, yeah. I don't know, man. It's like, the format doesn't make sense. The pick and play was terrible. The elimination phase took place on multiple different patches. Whereas, like, in LPL and LCK, they don't do the bullshit that LTA does, by the way. In LPL and LCK, when they start playoffs, they're playing on the same patch. Like, LPL started doing playoffs, they're like, okay, playoff starts, round 1 playoffs, 25-17, all playoffs. Same thing with LCK. They do the same thing at Worlds, by the way. They did the same thing at MSI. You play on the same patch when you start a tournament. LTA is the only region. Actually, let me see. Does LEC do multiple different patches during playoffs? No. LEC does every single match in playoffs on the same patch. LTA is the only region that in the elimination phase, which is literally just playoffs, by the way, don't get mind-gamed by the name. There was 3 different patches. I guess compared to like the regional finals. Like, that's just weird, bro. It's just weird. Also, the fact that you have teams that are competing in the same tournament playing on different patches, because some teams play a week in playoffs where they're playing on 25-16 and other teams play on 25-17. It makes it like impossible to scrim, by the way, because the 4 teams, pretty much there was a situation where the 4 teams that were competing in the lower bracket couldn't scrim any of the teams that were in the upper bracket, because the teams in the upper bracket would play on 25-17, but the teams in the lower bracket would play on 25-16 in their next matches. And then the teams in the lower bracket can't scrim against the team that they're directly playing, which means that they only have 2 scrim opponents each. I mean, it was just like completely fucking weird, you know? So weird. I only care about LPL and LCK, to be honest. Yeah, they care a lot about LPL. They don't have an English broadcast for the LPL, but they care a lot about it, I'm sure. LTA sacrificed so much competitive integrity this year. It's crazy. 100%. 100%. It was so fucked. I mean, the initial tournament was so terrible. Like, whatever, man. I've ranted about it enough. It's not that important, but I mean, the Split 1 playoffs, likewise, Under Thieves, TL, and C9 are playing elimination best of 3s in playoffs, bro. They're playing elimination best of 3s in playoffs, and the league ended a week earlier than the other leagues. So they could have just added an extra week and had best of 5s like any other tournament in like the history of the fucking world, you know? It's like every other tournament plays best of fives. I thought we were over best of 3 playoffs in like 2014, and then in 2025 we have playoffs being best of 3s. Like it's just super insane.